It's not about having what you want or wanting what you have. It's about being able to say what you want in Basque. Hi, I'm Shanna, and this is Basque Berserk. Saying I want or I want to in English is pretty straightforward. One or two words, and then the thing you want or the action you want to do. Basque can be a little bit more complicated, but it's still quite an easy concept. Today I'm going to tell you how to say just what you want. Here I'll show you the present tense forms of nahi izan and show you some other ways that nahi izan can be used. The Basque verb for to want is a pseudo-compound verb, or maybe more accurately, it's some sort of fossilized verb phrase. This consists of the word nahi, which generally translates as will or wish, and the transitive facets of izan. So when you say that you want something in Basque, you're basically saying that you have a wish for something, or you have the will to do something. Poetic, isn't it? With a few situational exceptions, nahi izan is almost always transitive. So the subject, or the person or thing doing the wanting, takes a k or an ak suffix in the singular, or an ek suffix in the plural. The object, or thing that is wanted, takes no case suffix. Saying that you presently want a thing or things consists of the present tense conjugations of transitive izan. Nik gauza bat nahi dut. I want one thing. Nik bi gauza nahi ditut. I want two things. Peyok txakurra nahi du. Peyo wants the dog. Mutilak txakurrak nahi ditu. The boy wants the dogs. Guk mahai bat nahi dugu. We want a table. Guk edariak nahi ditugu. We want drinks. Zuk laguntza nahi duzu. You want help. Zuk ideak nahi dituzu. You want ideas. Zuek bideo ona nahi duzue. You all want a good video. Zuek bideo onak nahi dituzue. You all want good videos. Haiek askatasuna nahi dute. They want freedom. Lagunek gozokiak nahi dituzte. The friends want sweets. So, wanting nouns is simple. What about wanting to do something, or wanting something done by another? That is a bit more complicated. If the subject of the wanting is the same as the subject of the doing, then that uses the dictionary form of the verb that you want to do, I mean. Let me explain. Let's say that you are wanting to do something yourself. I want to eat, as in I myself want to eat. The form that you find for to eat isn't changed from what you find in the dictionary. In this case, it's yan or chan, to eat. Then this dictionary form is placed in front of nahi izan, and thus we get yan nahi dut, I want to eat. Yan nahi du, he or she wants to eat. Yan nahi dugu, we want to eat. Yan nahi duzu, do you want to eat? Yan nahi duzue, you all want to eat. Yan nahi dute, do they want to eat? You can see here that you don't necessarily have to state the person who's doing the wanting explicitly, since that information is carried in the verb izan. You can also see that the izan forms here are singular. If the object of nahi izan is plural, you will find the pluralizer, it, in the forms of izan. Otamenak yan nahi ditut. I want to eat snacks. Pintxoak yan nahi dituzu. You want to eat pinchos. Gozokiak yan nahi dituzte. They want to eat sweets. So what if the wanter of the sentence is wanting someone else to do something? Well, instead of using the dictionary form of the verb, here we use something called the verbal noun. So this is similar to saying someone wants the doing of an action by someone else. And here, usually the person who is acting needs to be included in the sentence, since that information is not given in the verbal noun. Su joatea nai dut. I want you to go. Ni joatea nai du. He or she wants me to go. Aiek joatea nai dugu. We want them to go. Aiek loegitea nai dusu. You want them to sleep. Nik videoak egitea nai dusue. You all want me to make videos. Suk itsegitea nai dute. They want you to talk. Changing nai isan into past tense is as simple as changing the form for isan. And to turn nai isan into the future tense, you can add the future tense marker ko onto nai, which is more common, or you can add isan after nai, add ko onto isan, which turns into go because it's after an n, and then you can add the auxiliary forms of isan. Both of these ways mean will, want. If you want to be extra polite, you can use the conditional forms of nai isan. And what happens if you say you don't want something? You simply put the word s in front of the forms of isan, and that generally comes at the beginning of the sentence. It's also good to put the noun in the partitive case. Es tut nai chakurik. I don't want a dog. Es nuen nai chakurik. I didn't want a dog. Es nuke nai chakurik. I wouldn't like a dog. Es tut nai etori. I don't want to come. Es nuen nai etori. I didn't want to come. Es tut nai su joaterik. I don't want you to go. Es dusu ni etortseanai. You don't want me to come. Now, I did say that nai isan is transitive most of the time. So, when does it take intransitive forms? Well, there are two situations where you will see intransitive forms of isan used with nai. One is in northern dialects with intransitive verbs. So, if you use an intransitive verb like etori and you want to say I want to come, you say etori nai nais. This is in opposition to the southern dialects that say etori nai dut. The other situation is using nai isan passively or in an impersonal context. This passive impersonal context translates as something being wanted or something one wants, with one being whoever. These constructs don't use the wanter as the subject, but rather the thing that has the quality of being wanted. In the wild, you may see the position of nai with a bit more freedom, but for now, these sentence structures that I've constructed for you here will do just fine. Thanks for watching. Agur!